Why you shut down instead of speak up. Welcome back to the Behavior 360 podcast. I'm Dr. Philip Montgomery, licensed therapist and person who's going to say the thing most conversations skip right over. Today we're talking about shutting down. And I mean the real kind, not just going quiet in an argument, but that full withdrawal where you go cold, you pull back, and you tell yourself you're fine when clearly you're not. Maybe you leave the room. Maybe you check out emotionally. Maybe you let it build until something small sets you off 3 days later. Does any of this sound familiar? Here's what I want you to understand before we go any further. That pattern isn't weakness. It's not immaturity. It's a response your nervous system learned. And today, we're going to break down exactly what's happening and what to do instead. When you shut down, what actually is happening is your nervous system is perceiving a threat. Doesn't matter if it's a real physical threat or an emotional one. Your brain treats them the same way. And when the threat feels overwhelming or unresolvable, your nervous system activates what's called the freeze response. Most men have heard of fight or flight. Freeze is the one nobody talks about, but it's the most common one I see in my work with men. Freeze looks like silence. It looks like going cold. It looks like I'm fine when you're anything but. And here's the important part. It feels like control, but it's actually the opposite. It's your nervous system hitting the emergency brake. Now, why does this happen? The reason almost always traces back further than the current moment. Most men who shut down learn to do it early. Maybe you grew up in an environment where showing emotion wasn't safe, where vulnerability was treated as weakness, where getting upset meant getting in trouble or getting dismissed or making things worse even. So you adapted. You learned to keep it internal. Get through it. Move on. That was a smart strategy at the time. The problem is your nervous system didn't get the memo that you're an adult now. It's still running the same program. And that old program is now costing you in your relationships, in your leadership, and how you feel about yourself at the end of the day. So let's talk about what to actually do. And I want to be clear. I'm not going to tell you to just open up more or communicate better. That's not a strategy. That's a bumper sticker. Here's a real 3-step process you can start using today. Step 1, name what's happening in your body before you respond. Not in your head, in your body. Tightness in your chest, your jaw clenching, the urge to use physical leave. That physical signal is data. Don't skip past it. It's telling you something important is activated. Step 2, buy yourself 60 seconds, not to avoid the conversation, to regulate. Breathe if you need to. Step outside for a minute to do it. Tell the other person, give me a minute. That's not avoidance. That's emotional discipline. There's a difference. Step 3, come back with a statement, not a verdict. Instead of going cold or saying you always do this, try, when that happened, I felt dismissed. That's why I went quiet. One sentence. That's all you need. You're not writing a thesis. You're creating a window into what's actually happening with you. That one shift from verdict to statement changes everything. It stops the defensive cycle. It creates space for real conversation. And over time, it rebuilds the kind of trust that shutting down slowly destroys. If this episode landed for you, it's because this pattern is real and it's running in your life. The first step is always awareness, recognizing the pattern before you're already deep in it. If you want structured support moving through this, it is important for men to emotionally reset. Thank you for listening. Again, I'm Dr. Philip Montgomery. See you next week. And as always, please like, follow, and subscribe.